an affordable new way.
Thunderstorms packing some heavy rain and some gusty winds are a possibility later this afternoon. And coming up in a few moments, we'll show you the areas most prone for some strong thunderstorms. But right now it's time for your tropical update. And with all the details, here's Mr. John Hope. John?
Thanks, Cheryl. Glad to be with you this afternoon. We're going to take a look now at the latest information we have on our depression. 18.0, 58.0, that's 250 miles now to the east-northwest of Leeward Islands. That's where the center is. It's moving pretty fast, about 23 miles per hour, and the estimated lowest pressure is 1,005 millibars, and the top winds 35 miles per hour. Now, there is a reconnaissance aircraft scheduled to go out there and check this out this afternoon, and we probably won't see any change in the status of this until the recon gets out there and tells us exactly what we have in the way of the highest winds and lowest pressure and so on. And so at that time, this could be upgraded, I think, to a tropical storm, because looking at the satellite pictures this morning, it looks as if it is indeed getting better organized as time goes by. Now, there are some tropical storm watches out there, no warnings anywhere. The good news for folks in the islands is that the center is going to pass, we believe, north of all these islands, the Leeward Islands and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands as well. And that means that these folks in these islands here will be south of the center of the depression or the storm, if it gets to be a storm by this afternoon. And since it's moving toward the west-northwest at 23 miles an hour, the winds along the southern semicircle of the disturbance are not going to be all that strong. But I don't want to underestimate it either, because there will be some squally weather out there and some pretty good gusts and squalls. But the brunt of the high winds are going to stay on to the north. Now, I can show you the latest satellite picture, and I can show you where we believe the center is right in this area. And here you see there's the island of Guadalupe, Antigua's there, St. Martin's, and so on. They're already beginning to get some squalls there. And as I said, in these squalls, we could see gusts of wind, perhaps 30 miles an hour or even stronger, some thunderstorms too. And this is moving right along. Now, people are, of course, in the United States are interested in it too. They want to know how this might affect the United States. It's really too early to tell. What we believe is going to happen is that it's going to go toward the west-northwest, and eventually, after 3 days or so, begin to turn more toward the north. Now, whether it turns north before it gets to the U.S. coast, we'll just have to wait and see. We wanted to show you also that we have another little disturbance out here southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. That's holding together, not getting very well organized fast. And here we can see it again on this satellite picture, and nothing much coming off Africa yet that we need to worry about. We are a little bit concerned back here closer to the U.S., though, in the Gulf of Mexico, because we can see some pretty definite rotation out here now north of the Yucatan Peninsula, and some pretty good winds too. Some of the data buoys here are reporting sustained winds in excess of 30 miles an hour. This is all drifting toward the west, and conditions in the upper atmosphere appear to favor that getting a little bit better organized as time goes by. And looking at the tropical wave that went past Puerto Rico 2 days ago, we can see a little flare up east of Cuba, but all that seems to be kind of associated with a trough and the upper atmosphere. And then we have some big thunderstorms off the east coast of Florida. Those also associated primarily with an upper trough, so we don't think that we're going to see any development in that area. Now, as far as the Pacific off the coast of west coast of Mexico is concerned, we have a couple disturbances there. One southwest of the Gulf of Tehuantepec, and another one here southwest of Cabo San Lucas. Neither one of these are showing much signs of getting developed in a hurry. So that's the tropics for this time, and now let's get back to Cheryl Limke and see what she has to tell us about the severe weather outlook here in the U.S. Cheryl?
Thanks, John. Here's our latest surface map for the lower 48, and it's shaping up to be a gorgeous late summer day across the entire Northeast, thanks to a big area of high pressure. But I'll tell you what, you won't have to travel very far before you start to encounter extensive cloud cover and the threat for some big showers and thunderstorms. There's a fairly strong cold front that continues to seep in across the upper plain states, and those big thunderstorms will be popping later today. And eventually that moisture and the energy will start to slide over towards Chicago, and perhaps by late in the day, maybe some thunderstorms too popping around Detroit. The southeast too staying very active. We have lots of deep tropical moisture lurking from Florida and back over towards the Texas coastal bend, and that combined with afternoon heating may be just enough to set off some powerful thunderstorms. We think the worst weather, though, could be for those of you vacationing around the Black Hills of South Dakota and back on into eastern Montana and eastern Wyoming. A chance for perhaps some severe weather, or some of these thunderstorms may be packing some large hail and perhaps some isolated tornadoes. So please be careful for today. Stay tuned. We'll check out the forecast for the remainder of your Thursday and current weather from coast to coast coming up.
A tropical depression whips up a storm in the Atlantic. Its potential impact on the U.S., plus an update on thunderstorms threatening the upper Midwest, next on Weather Center.
Hershey's syrup presents milk with chocolate, strawberry, and chocolate malt syrup. As always, a fat-free food. And always big on taste. Moo.
Along those lines. So we'll just have to wait and see how the day progresses. But